Welcome to this explainer. I am so excited to be sharing this with you today. Have you ever looked at your daily routine and just thought, man, I need a total reset? Well, we've all been there. Today, we're diving into a massive concept, which is totally overhauling your life. But we're going to do it in a way that actually makes sense. We're looking at how to build a rock-solid foundation for a highly effective life. Let's map it out step by step. This brings us to a huge, glaring question. How do you actually upgrade your life? I mean, you go online and you are immediately hit with 1,000 different morning routines, productivity hacks, and complex financial strategies. So how do you practically tackle self-improvement without feeling completely overwhelmed by all that advice? How do you know what actually works and what's just pure noise? Well, the Inspire Path offers a brilliant framework that cuts right through all that noise. They've identified exactly 30 specific habits, and you should really think of these not as random chores, but as a complete life operating system. When you integrate these together, they handle the whole shebang: your energy, your focus, your wealth, and your peace of mind. So, we're going to build a house of habits across 5 clear pillars: winning your daily routine, mastering focus and deep work, fueling growth and wealth, protecting your mental peace, and finally, the power of consistency. Okay, let's dive right into pillar number 1, winning your daily routine, which is all about building your foundation. Look, before we can even think about optimizing your mind or your money, we absolutely have to get your body operating on a reliable schedule. Your day is won or lost on the bookends. Waking up at a consistent time, and hey, it doesn't necessarily have to be 4 a.m., just consistent, really anchors your focus. You follow that immediately with some water for hydration and 30 minutes of movement to just kickstart your metabolism. Throughout the day, eating protein is what stabilizes your energy. But you know what the real secret is? Your morning actually starts the night before. Planning tomorrow's tasks and ditching those screens an hour before bed pretty much guarantees you wake up with purpose rather than that awful brain fog. Moving right along to pillar number 2, mastering focus and deep work. This is where we reclaim your attention. To actually get into deep work, you have to engineer your environment. First, protect that first hour for planning, set your top 3 priorities, and tackle the hardest one immediately. Seriously, the task you keep avoiding is usually the most important one. Finish it, and the rest of the day is a breeze. By clearing your workspace and turning off all those non-essential notifications, you remove the friction that inevitably leads to procrastination. Grouping these tactical habits together unlocks your true ability to focus. Just 1 hour of this targeted deep work, it literally outpaces an entire day of just reacting to random pings. This perfectly illustrates the battle going on inside our brains. Instant gratification versus delayed dopamine. Instant gratification trains your brain to just avoid effort entirely. On the flip side, practicing delayed dopamine by putting off those immediate, cheap rewards actually rebuilds your brain's ability to focus on the things that truly matter in the long run. Now for pillar number 3, fueling growth and wealth. It's time to expand your value. Since you've got your energy and focus dialed in, it's time to build the walls of our house. Growth always starts with inputs. Reading just 10 pages a day lets you borrow decades of someone else's experience, and writing down every good idea ensures you never lose them. But you have to translate that knowledge into real value. If you learn a high-income skill like coding, sales, or video editing, suddenly you're solving real-world problems. Pair that with strict expense tracking and intelligent saving and investing, and you transition from just making a paycheck to truly building wealth. There is this fantastic quote: "You can't improve what you don't measure." Building wealth isn't just about earning a massive salary. It is fundamentally about keeping and growing what you earn. If you aren't measuring it, you simply aren't managing it. Period. Here is a truly fascinating paradigm shift for you. Create versus consume. Before you spend an hour mindlessly scrolling someone else's content, produce something of your own. You have to train your brain to be a creator of value, not just a passive consumer. That brings us to pillar number 4, protecting your mental peace, guarding your inner world. Success is heavily defined by what you avoid. You have to protect your time by learning to say no and keeping a strict not-to-do list of habits you want to steer clear of. Protect your energy by stepping outside into nature for just 10 minutes to clear mental fatigue, and by simply walking away from negativity and unnecessary arguments. Most importantly, audit your circle. Surround yourself with growth-minded people who raise your standards. And hey, learn to get comfortable with boredom. You really don't need constant entertainment to be fulfilled. And finally, pillar number 5, the power of consistency. This is the roof that seals the whole house together. As the source material beautifully puts it, consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't need to chase absolute perfection every single day. That's exhausting. Instead, just focus on becoming 1% better than you were yesterday. Those small, consistent improvements are exactly what create massive transformations over time. Now, to actually stay consistent, you need to ruthlessly eliminate procrastination. Enter the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do not plan it. Do not write it down. Do not schedule it for tomorrow. Just do it immediately. It's incredibly simple, but it stops procrastination dead in its tracks. You also need a calibration mechanism, like a Sunday review. Just take 10 minutes every Sunday to audit your week. What worked? What totally failed? Then build a clear plan for the days ahead based on that data. It's the ultimate safeguard against repeating the exact same mistakes week after week. At the very core of all this is a single foundational commitment. Keep one promise to yourself daily. Focus purely on progress, not perfection. Because following through on something incredibly small is exactly how you prove to your brain that you are reliable. That's how true self-respect is built, for sure. Which leads us to our final and honestly most important rule for this entire system. Never miss a habit twice. We are all human, right? Missing one day of your routine is not going to ruin your progress. But missing twice? Well, that is the beginning of a new bad habit. So the question I'll leave you with today is this. When you inevitably slip up on your journey to a better life, will you let one mistake become a pattern, or will you fiercely protect your progress and get right back on track the very next day? Thank you so much for exploring these powerful habits with me in this explainer. Now get out there and keep building that house.